Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, crews from surrounding communities responded to a raging fire at an apartment building in Dover-Foxcroft this afternoon. As
our Matthew Jurancic reports, it was community members that made the difference in helping firefighters knock those flames down.
Fire was shooting into the sky as first responders got the call at around 10:30 this morning. For the residents, it was hard to watch.
I was sleeping in my bed with my dog and I heard a pounding on my door from the contractor that was working next door, and then my fire alarm started going off, so I grabbed my dog and jumped over the flames by the front door. And
quick thinking came from a good Samaritan working next door, banging on doors to get all the occupants out. But this fire was stubborn. Fire crews battled for more than 2 hours before getting the blaze under control. Dover-Foxcroft Fire Chief Brian Gaudette says the cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but they believe it started on the second floor of the 3-story apartment building. He also said no one was injured and that 2 people were inside the property at the time.
The fire was too far ahead of us when we got here, so our main concern was to protect all the exposures.
Volunteer firefighter Emma Melia, who lives across the street, was home at the time of the incident. She said her instincts kicked in when seeing how quickly the fire was spreading.
I jumped right into what I have to do. I found out what trucks were getting water, where, and what side of the building. It was quick for me to just jump up, get one of the deck guns going, and my father and I got fire started to the left side of the building.
Chief Gaudette applauds the person that helped get the 2 people out of the building before the fire spread.
It's very heroic for a passerby to risk his life to go try to save a stranger he don't know.
In Dover-Foxcroft, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Former President Donald Trump was charged in a New York court today. Fox's David Spunt has a look at what lies inside the indictment.
The 16-page, 34-count indictment centers on what Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg calls a catch-and-kill scheme to boost then-candidate Donald Trump's campaign for the White House. Bragg's office alleges the defendant, Donald J. Trump, repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York's business records to conceal criminal conduct that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election. The 34 counts focus on what Bragg calls reimbursements to former Trump fixer Michael Cohen, who claims he paid $150,000 to former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal and $130,000 to adult film actress Stormy Daniels, in an effort to silence them and keep the story out of the headlines to help the Trump campaign. Bragg continues, in order to execute the unlawful scheme, the participants violated election laws and made and caused false entries in the business records of various entities in New York. The participants also took steps that mischaracterized, for tax purposes, the true nature of the payments made in furtherance of the scheme. In New York state law, falsifying records in the first degree is a felony and includes intent to commit another crime. But the other crime not specifically mentioned in the indictment.
The indictment doesn't specify that because the law does not so require.
But Bragg points to a New York state election law,
which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means.
In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
And considering the unprecedented nature of the former president's indictment, as well as the overwhelming public interest in the case, we spoke to some local residents about their thoughts on today's events.
I think that it's set up for distraction. I think there's a lot bigger things going on.
Do what he can to get out of it, buy his way out.
He's just going to do what he wants to get out of it because that's how the world works with these people of power.
I don't feel one way or the other. I saw that it happened, but I didn't get into it. I figured it would be like kind of going down a rabbit hole.
It's a politically motivated indictment, and I think that it would never have happened if Trump wasn't the projected nominee for the Republican nomination, and I think that it comes at a time that is kind of suspect.
Well, a judge has warned former President Trump to refrain from rhetoric that could inflame or cause civil unrest.
Members of Maine's congressional delegation offered their thoughts on the unprecedented events surrounding President Trump's arrest and arraignment today. Maine Representative Shelley Pingree saying in a statement, quote, "Make no mistake, today is a sad day for this country. For the first time in our nation's history, a former president has been arrested on criminal charges. It's a tragic moment of great gravity all Americans should mark solemnly. But it is also a sign of our democracy's health that even a former president can face justice for their misdeeds. No one is above the law," end quote. Maine Senator Susan Collins also took a moment to reflect on today's events and discussed her thoughts on who the Republican nominee for president should be.
At this point, my request to the people of our country, whether they are supporters or opponents of President Trump, is to react peacefully when the indictment is unsealed later today. I have already made clear that President Trump is not my choice for the Republican nomination. I think we have many outstanding candidates: Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, Tim Scott, all of whom I know well, Chris Christie. There are a lot of choices out there, and my hope is that my party will choose one of those excellent choices.
Well, in other news tonight, effective April 11th, the Valley Avenue encampments will no longer be allowed. Bangor City Manager Debbie Laurie says for the last 3 months, 40 individuals from 10 different state and local agencies have been working to line up resources. She says people living in the encampments are being counseled and aided daily with opportunities for housing. Laurie says there is an emphasis on permanent housing, but temporary options will be available as well. If you have an apartment available, gently used furnishings, or can provide financial support, you can contact her at city.manager@bangormaine.gov.
The city of Old Town could update current ordinances that would expand park occupancy rules and existing loitering regulations. Members of the city's police force say it's part of an effort to keep these public areas safe. AJ Douglas reports.
Monday night, the City of Old Town City Council voted to approve a second reading of the newly proposed park and loitering rules. Police Chief Scott Wilcox has proposed that the city extend limited occupancy of city parks, which would ban people, including the unhoused, from being in those spaces during certain hours.
Was looking at making that change from 10 p.m. at night to 6 a.m. to making it from sunset to sunrise.
Deputy Chief Chris Miller says the updated park rules are not specifically directed to homeless community members.
After some juvenile issues that we had throughout the summer and throughout the fall, so looking as we're coming into warmer weather and things are starting to get active again.
Officials say park occupancy rules stem from juvenile vandalism, but the request to extend loitering rules are related to limited instances where homeless individuals are considered to be trespassing. During an Old Town City Council meeting on March 20th, Wilcox stated that updated loitering guidelines would allow police to enforce rules to promote safety.
It also allows us to deal with people that are sleeping in the gazebo or are sleeping on a slide in a park somewhere.
Wilcox says law enforcement would like to, quote, get ahead of the situation, end quote, by incorporating regulations that are steadily being adapted by other cities around the state to reduce loitering. The public hearing is scheduled for April 18th in Old Town. AJ Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, a bill in Augusta is looking to help fund 24-hour supportive services for site-based housing, an approach that helps those experiencing homelessness find permanent housing and helping to take them out of the cycle of homelessness as well. Members of Preble Street were in Augusta today to speak in favor of the bill. Advocates say it has been a successful solution for people experiencing chronic homelessness.
We can make history here in Maine and have the ability to do something that no other state has done by ending chronic homelessness. This unique opportunity is now. The resources are available now, and the time to take action is now.
Preble Street Housing says the Housing First program saves the community money, saying it results in fewer police calls, emergency room visits, and jail stays.
Meanwhile, hundreds of people gathered for a pro-life rally in Augusta. Devin Dagnall was there and has more.
Tuesday morning, the Maine Right to Life group hosted Hands at the Capitol at the Augusta State House in the Hall of Flags.
A lot of the energy today is around what the governor had already announced as an expansion of abortion here in Maine.
According to Assistant Republican leader Senator Lisa Keim, many of the people who attended the rally are concerned the bill Governor Janet Mills is expected to release will expand accessibility for abortions across the board. Many of the attendees, including Keim, speculate the new bill will allow for abortions up until the moment of birth, which they staunchly oppose.
So we haven't seen the language of that bill yet, but just from the speeches that were made and the way that she is describing it, it is looking to have abortion right up to the moment of live birth.
When we reached out to the governor's office for clarification on the bill, they stated the bill is inspired by the story of Dana Pierce, who had to travel out of state to receive an abortion after learning her child was suffering from skeletal dysplasia. The governor's office stated, quote, "The governor's bill places the decision about whether to have an abortion later in pregnancy in the hands of a woman and a doctor, not politicians," end quote. They also offered statistics, stating nearly all abortions in Maine occurred during the first trimester, with 92% of them occurring by the 12th week of pregnancy.
I do not want to see an expansion of abortion. And I am very certain that the people I represent in Maine do not want abortion up to live birth for any reason.
In Augusta, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There was a public hearing in Lewiston earlier today where Mainers got to weigh in on a proposal from Central Maine Power that would increase rates for part of their electric bill. CMP wants to increase their distribution rate over the next 3 years. In the first year, that would mean a $4 to $5 increase for the average consumer, and then a $2 to $3 increase in each of the following 2 years. The distribution charge is different from the supply charge, which Mainers saw go up in January and is not controlled by CMP. The utility does say the distribution increase is needed so they can invest in the grid to make it more reliable. Today, one of those infrastructure projects taking shape in Portland is a new substation, which will replace one from the 1960s and is expected to increase reliability on the peninsula.
It has to do with customer reliability and resiliency. This substation actually is adding a lot of capacity to the area and automation. The economy has still been growing and customers are coming on constantly, so we need to improve and we need to add that capacity for them.
That substation is expected to open before the end of the year.
A coalition of environmental groups says it's withdrawing the lawsuit against a renewable energy company it accused of jeopardizing the last remaining wild Atlantic salmon in the U.S. The group sued Brookfield Renewable, claiming that the company kills salmon on the Kennebec River with its dams. Wild Atlantic salmon only return to a handful of U.S. rivers, all of which are in Maine. They are protected under the Endangered Species Act. The conservationists were dealt a setback last month when the federal government ruled the salmon can coexist with the hydroelectric dams on the Kennebec River. Federal authorities say they will ensure the company eventually upgrades the dams to allow more salmon to pass through.
Certainly something we've been hearing a lot about in the past few weeks or a couple of months, so something we'll continue to follow for sure.
Absolutely, and another thing we've been following is the trends in the weather patterns out there. Today, another great day, just really mild temperatures all around.
Yeah, you got to love it when it, even when you start thinking about the 50s, let alone actually hit them.
Right.
At this point, I do feel like it was kind of a rough winter, maybe not as much record snowfall per se, but certainly a lot of really sustained cold temperatures. So it's nice to be getting, seeing that relief.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, when we were looking ahead back in some of the coldest days of winter, I think 50-degree days sounded pretty balmy back then.
It sure did. All righty. Well, let's get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming our way, at least for the rest of the night.
Thank you so much, Beth. Let's get right into the spring temperatures. Look at all of this weather. D.C. was in the 80s earlier today. New York City in the 70s. We didn't quite get that lucky with all those warmer temperatures, but we'll still take those mid-50s. any day. It actually felt really nice, especially with those 50s. It's been a pretty long winter. We did have some lower 50s by the coast, even some 50s up north, Millinocket into Greenville, with a pretty thick snowpack still on the ground right now. Weather-wise, though, not much going on just yet. We do have some clouds that will continue to make its way up from the south, and some sprinkles by the coast, especially closer to the Portland area. But in general, though, not much is really going on yet. By tomorrow, though, things will change. Winds will start to pick up. Right now, though, the winds are pretty calm. Only a 5-mile-an-hour breeze. The coast has a 5-mile-an-hour breeze as well. A couple of breezier conditions, I'd say, closer to the Greenville area. Tonight for us, though, temperatures will be hovering in those mid to upper 20s. Beth?
Alrighty, Conrad, sounds good. Nice mild overnight coming our way.
Yep, we like that.
We do. All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. We'll take you to the Augusta Civic Center for the 44th annual Maine Math Meet.
And a living memorial to Maine's fallen veterans has a new display at Bangor International Airport. We'll take you there after the break.
We've got your back, road warriors, because we know you're picking up the pace. Steering life at 10 and 2. You're hitting the road. And we're helping you get there with confidence. So skip the counter without missing a beat. Choose any car in the aisle and be the boss of you. Go national. Go like a pro.
Hit away, right?
No.
Bunt.
No.
I don't get it.
Come on, Elo, pay attention.
Experience the cycle at Jordan's.
BuyAToyota.com is Toyota's official website for deals. See every official Toyota deal out there, including offers not seen on TV. BuyAToyota.com when you officially want the best deal. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
It's an epic new season with weekly themes and a special new twist.
What? Somebody's messing with us.
The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
Hello, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear the latest news out of Bangor International Airport as they have their Summit Project case. Plus, we'll get a glimpse of the work from Bangor High School's Knitting Club. Plus, on a related note, we'll have an insider look at the local math meet. We'll have these stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Welcome back. During a school board meeting Monday night, RSU 63 school board directors voted to limit the display of classroom flags to the Maine state flag or American flag. According to a press release from the RSU 63 superintendent, Jared Fulgoni, some have viewed the change as non-inclusive as it permanently excludes teachers from displaying other flags that do not fit into the approved guidelines, such as the pride flag. Fulgoni explains that the school system's efforts to promote diversity and inclusion go well beyond the display of a flag and points out that he did not make the policy.
Senator Susan Collins toured the Colonial Theater in Augusta Tuesday morning. Her visit comes after she secured $1.5 million for renovations and expansions at the theater. Funding from the project will provide renovations to the current building while adding a 2-level auxiliary building that will overlook the Kennebec River. Senator Collins expressed the importance of revitalizing this historic landmark.
It is going to be such an asset, not only to the capital city of Augusta, to Kennebec County, but to the entire state of Maine with its 1,000-seat theater.
The theater sat dormant for decades after it fell into disrepair in 1969. Since 2015, the building has undergone major construction, including replacing the roof and rebuilding a large portion of the auditorium floor. The Colonial Theater was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2014.
Well, Herman residents were invited to coffee and conversation with town councilors today. Inside the council chambers on Billings Road, residents were invited to get to know Herman town councilors a bit better. Two council members, Ron Murphy and Danielle Hagerty, were both on hand to talk with taxpayers about any concerns they had or things happening in Herman they'd like to know more about.
Sometimes people don't like to come to meetings because it's really hard for them to get to know the councilor. So we thought if we had just something that was coffee and conversation, they could come in, sit down, find out who we are, and maybe we can help answer some of their questions for them.
Residents who attended the gathering got to share their concerns about the divide between the town and the schools. They also heard more about the town's recent decision to sever ties with the Herman Volunteer Rescue Squad.
900 high school students from across the state gathered at the Augusta Civic Center for the 44th annual Maine State Math Meet today. It's the first time the state meet was held in person since 2019. The big event follows 5 other regular season meets that took place over the past year. Hamden Academy senior Leonardo Malinsky started math team in 5th grade, and he represented his school for the final time during today's meet. He says competitions like this serve as an enjoyable way for students to promote their own academic growth.
It's challenging and fun at the same time, because a lot of time you're in math class, you're like, oh, I really need to get this right, it's a bad grade. But this is kind of just like more fun math, where there's not a lot of consequences with it, you're just trying to see how good you can do.
Results from the state meet will be posted at the Maine Association of Math League's website, maml.net. And a big congratulations to all the mathletes who competed today.
A memorial to honor Maine's fallen heroes is now part of a temporary display at Bangor International Airport. Our Jody Hersey has that story.
The Summit Project is a living memorial that honors fallen service members from Maine who have died since September 11th, 2001.
Joel A. House, Andrew L. Hutchins, Michael Jones.
Each hero is represented by a stone that volunteers lovingly carry in their backpacks while hiking year after year. On Tuesday, 20 of those stones were placed in the Summit Project Honor Case that is temporarily on display at Bangor International Airport. Lorna Harris's son, Dustin, is one of the 20.
Dustin was a senior in high school, sitting in English class when the Twin Towers were struck, and he knew that he wanted to serve his country. Not many can say they died doing what they loved, and Dustin honestly died doing what he loved.
A stone representing Jim Stout's stepson, Aaron Marquis, is also part of the display.
Families struggle. They need to have some kind of closure. You can't ever close, I guess, the death of a son or a stepson, but this has certainly helped.
Other Gold Star families, veterans, and airport staff gathered for a special ribbon-cutting ceremony at BIA Tuesday.
I think the power of remembering is stronger than a lot of us think on our daily basis.
This Summit Project Honor Case will be on display on the first floor of Bangor International Airport throughout the months of April and May. Jim Stout hopes every passenger traveling through BIA will see this case and remember the sacrifices made by so many in uniform.
I hope it makes them stop and think about what our military does for our country.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
I think that display is such a thoughtful and important reminder of the sacrifices made by military men and women, and I think also a great location for it right there with so much traffic and people having the time to just stop and take a minute.
Well, I think it also really speaks volumes to people who are maybe visiting Maine from out of the area, to have that display featuring so prominently right as visitors arrive, I think shows the esteem that in which Maine holds its veterans, that we really honor them.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, the latest updates on the Wall Street Journal reporter arrested in Russia on espionage espionage charges.
And we'll have the latest developments coming out of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Those stories and much more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrix material, which is twice as strong as vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything, from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and a superior process.
It's the people.
It's the process.
It's the product.
Call now to get our exceptional signature service. This fantastic offer is available only for a limited time. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. With the money we saved, we tried electric unicycles.
I think I got it.
Doggy paddle. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Moms and dads work hard to keep their babies healthy with lots of love, healthy foods, keeping clean, physical activity, and vaccination, a key piece of the puzzle. Nothing protects babies better from 14 serious diseases by age 2. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor or go to cdc.gov/vaccines/parents.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
The family of imprisoned Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich finally getting an update on his condition inside a Russian prison following his arrest last week on espionage charges. Fox's Jonathan Hunt has the story.
Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich finally met with his lawyers Tuesday after spending the weekend inside a Russian prison. The 31-year-old was arrested last week, accused of stealing state secrets. It's a claim the Wall Street Journal and the Biden administration have firmly denied. On Tuesday, the White House once again called for the reporter's immediate release.
These charges are ridiculous. Evan is not a spy. Evan has never been a spy. Evan has never worked for the U.S. government.
In a joint statement, the Journal and its parent company Dow Jones said Gershkovich's attorneys found him in good health, and they said he is grateful for the outpouring of support from around the world. Both companies have vowed to do everything possible to bring him home. They describe his imprisonment as, quote, wholly unjustified and an attack on a free press. Gershkovich's attorneys have already filed an appeal against the espionage charges he's facing. However, no date for that has been set.
He's facing up to 20 years in prison under the charges that he's facing.
The White House also revealed Tuesday Gershkovich has still not been able to meet with representatives from the U.S. Embassy.
The State Department has continually attempted to secure consular access to Evan as it relates to the designation of wrongfully detained.
Gershkovich's detainment is the first time a U.S. journalist has been arrested in Russia since the Cold War. Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
NATO has a new border expanding eastward into Russia's backyard. And as a result, Moscow says it will retaliate. Fox's Mike Tobin has more from Kyiv.
History being made in Europe on Tuesday. Finland officially becoming the 31st member of NATO, giving the alliance more than 800 new miles of shared border with Russia as the war in Ukraine grinds on. Finland is a traditionally neutral country, but it was convinced to apply for NATO membership after the invasion last year.
War has returned to Europe, and Finland has decided to join NATO and be part of the world's most successful alliance.
The era of military non-alignment in our history has come to an end.
Moscow says it will retaliate, threatening to deploy more troops near the Finnish border. That could help the Ukrainians by diverting Russian resources and manpower from the front lines as the Ukrainian military plans a counteroffensive. Russia also stepping up its deployment of nukes to its close ally Belarus, claiming the move is a defensive reaction to NATO's expansion.
We're not threatening nuclear war. All this narrative that Russia is threatening the world with the nukes is a part of a propaganda.
Meanwhile, here in Kyiv, a group of American business and political leaders is looking ahead to the post-war rebuilding effort. It's being led by former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who told us participation by Ukraine's allies will be key to ending the threat from Russia.
That's important. This needs to be not just an American support of Ukraine, but the world standing up to Vladimir Putin.
The Pentagon is also stepping up its military aid, announcing a new package for Ukraine worth $2.6 billion. In Kyiv, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, millions of Americans are in the path of severe storms this week.
And in sports, Old Town Baseball is gearing up for spring after finishing as regional runners-up just a year ago. We'll be right back.
The Bristol Dirt Race. Chaos will ensue. The NASCAR Cup Series, Bristol, Easter Sunday on Fox.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LO1 Series is rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Powerful Kubota diesel engine, ease of operation, and your choice of a dependable Kubota gear or HST transmission. The durable Kubota LO1 Series tractor. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes & More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6C and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes & More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old pencil down? They know that if you buy once, you're gonna be back. So instead of buying one, you're buying two, and that's a fact. They've got the sharpest pencil in town.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on.
When it comes to the feud,
name a way a woman might say she likes her men and her cheese.
You either nail it,
sharp,
spicy, or fail it.
full of adventure.
When you're at the grocery store, you want to find some adventurous cheese running around the dairy section.
Family Feud.
Where are you going? Stop all this adventure.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Welcome back. An Uber driver gave a New Jersey man more than just a ride home, but a second chance at life. Bill Sumil says he was picked up from a dialysis center by Uber driver Tim Letts back on October 2021, or in October 2021. During their conversation, Sumil explained to Letts that he'd been waiting for a kidney transplant for more than 3 years. Hearing about Sumil's life and story inspired Letts, and he volunteered to become a donor. After numerous tests, it was concluded that Letts was actually a perfect match. The two men say they will remain lifelong friends.
Just an extraordinary story there. Well, an April blizzard and more severe weather expected to hit parts of the plains and upper Midwest this week. Fox weather correspondent Brandy Campbell has the latest.
It's been an awful winter. It's been long. It's been more snow than we've ever seen.
Millions of people in the plains and Midwest brace for another round of snow. Blizzard conditions expected from Wyoming to Minnesota on Tuesday, with forecasters warning of potential record snowfall in some areas. In the Dakotas, folks could see up to 2 feet of snow. Officials also warning of frigid temperatures across the region, which could make travel dangerous.
We discovered that as we went up the hill this morning in Duluth that it's ice up there already.
It's all ice up there. Yeah, the walking was so slippery and slow.
Severe weather also expected to impact the storm-wary south. Officials warn the risk of destructive winds and tornadoes is high, particularly in Arkansas. That's where thousands are still trying to recover from last week's deadly tornadoes.
There is a large area of Arkansas that we expect that could be impacted, so please pay attention to any weather alerts that you see.
Last week's storms led to heavy damage in Little Rock and Wynne, Arkansas. Tornadoes destroying homes and businesses and killing at least 5 people in the area. In total, officials believe twisters impacted at least 11 states and killed more than 24 people across 6 states.
I know it may seem sometimes like you can ride out a storm, but the risk is simply not worth it. Please heed their warnings and follow their directions.
Well, here in the Midwest, the blizzard and winter storm advisories are still in effect through Wednesday. In Duluth, Minnesota, I'm Brandy Campbell, Fox Weather.
Just so scary to see the weather that some of the rest of the country has been enduring in recent weeks. You just feel for everything that they're going through.
Absolutely, yeah, from the tornadoes to the still massive snowstorms hitting other parts of the country. It's
unprecedented weather in California. My gosh, they didn't know what hit them this winter.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's been a rough stretch for sure.
It has been a rough stretch already. Well, Conrad is coming back with our full 5-day. Stay with us.
And we've made it. We're in April. Warmer air is finally here for most of the country. 70s all the way up the eastern coast, but more warmer air will be rolling in. How warm will we get, and when is this going to walk in? I'll have the answers coming up.
Did you know that an alpaca item is the most wish-listed gift idea? Stop searching for that perfect gift and start shopping for it at the Blue Alpaca in Belfast. It doesn't matter who's on your gift list, the Blue Alpaca has something for everyone with an incredible selection of alpaca socks, hats, sweaters, even stuffed animals, and more. Shop in-store or online and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. Too much to choose from? Don't worry, the Blue Alpaca also offers gift cards. The Blue Alpaca, feel the difference.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Hi, this is Jason,
And this is Jessica from Tossie's Checkout,
a family-owned business located in Glenburn.
inviting you to come experience that welcoming hometown feeling when you're visiting our neck of the woods.
Come check us out.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half-off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Wednesday. Is the search for love too much for the farmers?
Don't give up on me yet.
What's the holdup?
All new Farmer Wants a Wife. Wednesday at 9 on Fox.
And welcome back. Our main weather today is brought to you by the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store. Visit our ranch and meet the alpacas or shop in our store in downtown Belfast. Weather-wise, though, folks, look at this. It looks like a lit up Christmas tree all over the state. Besides the coast, though, we do have some winter weather advisories out till the morning hours on Thursday. Small craft advisories as well. This is just off the coast of Portland and Rockland as well. For us, by Bar Harbor here, not much really going on, but things are going to change. We are going to get more messy weather by tomorrow. Right now, though, we do have some thicker clouds that is starting to roll in. Portland and by the coast, there is a couple of sprinkles out right now, but things will really start to ramp up by tomorrow. Look at all these thunderstorms starting to develop right now in Illinois, Iowa area, Missouri, same thing. And then on the northern end, blizzard conditions, like I said, in northern Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, close to 2 feet of snow in some spots, folks. That is incredible stuff. An absolutely very strong blizzard in the northern states. For us, like I said, it's going to get messy, folks, by tomorrow. Mainly a rain/freezing rain event. There will be lots of wintry precipitation by the evening hours tomorrow. So we're looking at around 10, 11, maybe midnight. Things will really start to go downhill with that wintry precipitation in the area. Then by those morning hours, temperatures will start to rise. So everybody will get that transition from wintry precipitation, that freezing rain, into all rain on Thursday as temperatures continue to go up this way. So we like to hear that type of news. Snowfall-wise, most of it will be limited up north. I would say the cutoff closer to Greenville and to Millinocket. That's where we're looking at potentially maybe an inch or two. Overall, though, mainly it's going to be a wintry mess. The stronger and really heavier snow is going to be well up north in the most northern part of our state. Rainfall-wise, though, it is going to be piling up. Half an inch to over an inch in some spots. So a lot of moisture with this precipitation, with this low pressure system bringing in all of those precipitations to us. 48 degrees is our high, supposed to be our high for this time of year. Tomorrow, nowhere near that. Thursday, though, Mother Nature brings some 50s and then we cool down once again. And then an upwards roller coaster trend once again by Sunday into those early days, I'd say by next week, Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, it's going to look much, much nicer. Tonight, though, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in those mid-20s. Winds will be a little bit more breezier than what they are outside right now. Tomorrow, what a mess. Temperatures in those mid-30s. We're looking at some rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, winds. Pretty calm as well. Snow accumulations, minimum to none here in town. Mostly a freezing rain event into rain. And then our extended forecast outlook does show some sprinkles in the area still lingering on Thursday. Then we're in the clear Friday, Saturday into Sunday. Beth?
Alrighty, definitely a couple of not so lovely days coming our way. But again, that weekend looking fine.
Yeah, a little icky, but then really, really nice from there. So
yeah, for sure.
We'd like to see that.
All right.
Well, sports is coming up next, so stay with us.
BuyAToyota.com is Toyota's official website for deals. See every official Toyota deal out there, including offers not seen on TV. BuyAToyota.com, when you officially want the best deal. Toyota, let's go places.
Fear, pain, and anxiety are all feelings associated with dental treatments, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dental lasers offer a way to remove tooth decay without using the dental drill. In fact, we do most dental fillings here at Twin City Dental without numbing, so no needle. And for treatments like root canals or having many teeth extracted, we also provide IV sedation. So call Twin City Dental for your next dentist appointment.
When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
For over 75 years, Ariens has been blowing away the competition. Ariens snow throwers simply overpower other brands. See for yourself by watching the screen and then head to Jim Small Engines in Arlington, where these fabulous high-throwing Ariens snow throwers are on sale at unbelievable prices. Jim Small Engines brings 40 years experience in sales and service, and Jim knows that Ariens snow throwers are the best, but supplies are limited, so watch the screen and take advantage of the great sale prices on Ariens snow throwers now at Jim Small Engines, Snows Corner Road, Arlington.
The bond between twins is a close one.
1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb war.
As day is tonight.
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Ow who? Oh boy.
And wrong is to right.
They both say weird kid who eats alone.
You can't have one without the other.
I need my own space. But we've always shared a room. I have a training bra. When you complete your training, get back to me.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Ansley Moore, a realtor since 2013, working throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Old Town Baseball finished as regional runners-up a year ago, and they're bringing back a ton of pieces, and they're primed for another run. Ryan Sudol has more.
It definitely leaves a little sour taste in your mouth. You never want to end a season like that, especially in a game like that.
Last season, Old Town Baseball lost the B North Regional title game on a walk-off to eventual state champions Ellsworth.
It fuels us a lot. We just got to stick to our individual goals and our team goals every time and build our way up to where we were last year.
And they have every reason to believe that. The Coyotes have a bunch of combined varsity time under their belt and talent to boot, like PVC Pitcher of the Year and future Black Bear, Gabe Gifford.
He has great presence on the mound. Hitters fear him. He has a great curveball, great fastball, spots the ball pretty well. I think he's going to have a really awesome year this year.
The meat of their batting order is returning too, a warning shot to their future opponents.
We're going to be a really tough team to pitch to. We got a lot of guys who can hit for power and obviously contact.
Plus, the Coyotes have amazing chemistry, and how couldn't they? 90% of the team have been playing together since Little League.
We actually went to states as a district team our 12-year-old year of Little League, and it's basically the whole team now.
And that chemistry adds to an atmosphere at practice that's just contagious.
Actually, last night, I cried laughing.
We have a lot of fun also, but we're also getting a lot of quality work done. And we're just looking to get better and get some work done for preseason.
And that work might just yield their second state title in 3 years.
With the veterans and the guys that are coming up right now, I think they know what's going to take. I think we're going to have a fun long year.
In Old Town, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's stay on the diamond now. Husson Baseball hosting their first home game of the season of the year on Tuesday. Eagles at the Winkin Sports Complex welcoming the Huskies from the University of Southern Maine. Top one, Eagles in a jam right away. Bases juiced for Jonathan Wilson, and he serves up a single into shallow center. Tom Visosky scores. That makes it 1-0 Huskies. 2-0 now. New arm in for the Eagles, Brogan Searle Bellinger. He's going to get under this one, sky it to right field. Hunter Curtis is there, but that's deep enough to bring the run home. 3-0 Huskies. They put up 4 in the first. Same score, third inning. Tanner Evans ropes this single into left. Keegan Sear hustles in from second. Husson is on the board. To the eighth now, 5-1. Kyle Doan sends this one to dead center. Ethan Stoddard can't get there. That's going to be an RBI double to make it 6-1. USM wins this one 10-1. Eagles, they're back in action on Thursday. All right, let's shift over to the tennis court now. On Monday, we talked about John Baps' girls team, and they're building off of last year's success, and the boys are looking to do just the same. Last season, the Crusaders made it to the B North Regional Finals, where they lost to MDI. They lost a few seniors from that team, but that really hasn't hindered their hunger, and it strengthened the players' desire to better themselves. For example, any player can show up to practice and challenge the one ranked above them to a match for their spot. But with all that in-house competition, there is no rivalries here.
Well, you'd think it'd be like kind of mean to challenge your friends or something like that, but it's really not like that. Everyone understands how it works. Everyone's fine if you're challenging. Our coach even sometimes forces us to challenge because some people are a little too nice to do that. Well, it's definitely like friendly competition, but it's still competition. So like when you're challenging, you just act like they're the opponent. You play your hardest, and that's really how you get better, by playing your hardest and practicing hard.
There's always the threat of someone kind of taking your spot, so I think it improves your will to get better, and I think it kind of drives everyone to get better.
And those especially striving for spots is the young core that is now making up a big part of the squad. But that youth is showing a lot of promise in practice so far. And as the season goes on, the team hopes that their improvement will spread.
And this year I think there's a lot of excitement for new talent coming up, and I think there's a lot of potential there.
It was a really great season last year, so hopefully this season will be pretty similar. It's a great group of boys, so I'm just excited to work with them and help each other improve.
All right, let's move over to the ice now. On Monday, we talked about the 30th anniversary of the 1993 Maine Hockey National title. On Tuesday, one of the faces of that team and now head coach of the Bruins, Jim Montgomery, joined one of our local radio shows to talk some shop. Monty hopped on 92.9 The Ticket's Morning Roast to talk about the 93 Black Bears and more. As the team captain, he had a third-period hat trick to seal that national title. He broke down the mindset of that squad to mount a comeback on college hockey's biggest stage.
We weren't going to let any moment go without claiming it, owning it, and staying in that moment. We had been mentally toughened by our devastating losses, and I think that our desire to make sure that we did everything we can to make sure nothing slipped by was impressed upon the other classes. And they joined us in that mental toughness that we needed.
Historic run there. Montgomery also talked about the Bruins' historic season in his first year at the helm. They're about as dominant as the Black Bears were in '93 under head coach Sean Walsh. And Montgomery says his relationship with Walsh reminds him of how he leads his Bruins right now.
I think the communication between Walshy and myself and the captains is very similar to the communication that I have with Patrice here and the captains here. And I just find that my relationship in particular with Patrice is eerily similar to Sean and I's.
All right, here's to hoping the Bruins season ends similar to that Maine season. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National. Go like a pro.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief so you can live your greatness.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here. Aspirin Arthritis. Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspirin.
Looking to haul a new piece of equipment? Homeowners or commercial, Coops Truck and Equipment has the right trailer for you. Coops is the largest dealer of truck flatbeds and hauler bodies in this state and can replace any old rusty bed or outfit any new truck. Our full-service facility can modify all truck and trailers with steel and aluminum fabricators on duty. We are your go-to place for CM truck bodies, H&H trailers, and load trail trailers. For trailers, truck bodies, truck outfitting, and more, it's Coops.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling great, feeling good.
Oh, okay. I was going to say exactly that.
25 words or less.
Feeling great, feeling good, feeling great, feeling good, feeling great.
5 days a week.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Pictionary.
Ballet, tutu.
Tutu, correct! You did it! With 1 second left.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Welcome back. An action sequel, a live-action remake, and a first for Coachella. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin breaks it all down in the Hollywood Nation.
Hemsworth back in action, Coachella Live, and a message from Maui in the Hollywood Nation.
Drum roll, please.
Moana! Dwayne Johnson revealed a live-action reimagining of 2016's Moana is in the works.
In a way, when I bring Maui to life, I'm doing it in the spirit of my grandfather.
In a video from Hawaii, he shared how much the film means to him personally and his character Maui. According to Disney, like the animation, the upcoming film will celebrate the islands, communities, and traditions of Pacific Islanders, as seen through the eyes of a young woman eager to pave her own path. Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival is marking a first. For the first time, it will live stream on its YouTube channel from all stages. 6 feeds both weekends, April 14th and 21st. Headliners are Bad Bunny, Blackpink, and Frank Ocean.
You came back for this. Why?
Today's first looks brings an action-packed teaser trailer for Extraction 2. Chris Hemsworth is back as Australian Black Ops mercenary Tyler Rake on another deadly mission after barely surviving Part 1. Joe and Anthony Russo produce. Joe writes, Sam Hargrave directs. The sequel streams on Netflix June 16th.
Guard that with your life, but do not open it.
And a new trailer for Blue Beetle shows the DC superhero played by Cobra Kai's Xolo Maridueña taking on his superpowers after he discovers an ancient relic. Blue Beetle flies into theaters August 18th. It's gonna be okay. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
A team of foreign veterinarians visit a Pakistani zoo to check in on a sick elephant. That elephant, Noor Jahan, is 17 years old, and she was brought to the Karachi Zoo with 3 others more than a dozen years ago. Videos of her struggling to stand have caused alarm, and now vets from the Four Paws organization are there to take a look at her. The doctors say the elephant is suffering from arthritis. Difficult to watch that video right there as she struggles, as well as a list of other health issues. They are afraid if she lays down, she may never get up again, but they hope they'll be able to help her. Now, doctors say the elephant's injury could have been the result of an accident or a fight or collision between the elephants. Noor Jahan will have more extensive tests on Wednesday to determine the extent of her health issues, and then the animal's scheduled to have surgery after that.
Here's wishing that elephant all the best. Finally tonight, a zoo in England welcomes rare Sumatran tiger cubs. The cubs, both females, were born in January at Northwest England's Chester Zoo, venturing out into their enclosure with mom for the first time. Their names are Alif and Raya. Sumatran tigers are native to Indonesia. The big cat species is critically endangered, with just around 350 remaining in the wild. Just some beautiful, beautiful animals there.
Oh my God, they're so cute. You
They
like
are.
twitch just looking at them.
Seriously.
The numbers, though, so incredibly frightening. You just
Right.
hope that whatever conservation efforts are ongoing are successful.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us. Take care and good night.
Good night, everyone.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Since 1950, Fairhaven Camps
home.